Hello everyone, for this video we're going to take a look at a mini Airbus light overhead panel by Rowsfire. They kindly sent the Flight Sim Deck Studio a version to check out and provide feedback, so that is exactly what we're going to do. Rowsfire is a company producing acrylic and 3D printed Airbus and Garmin panels with some very nice laser engraving for backlighting. The model we're checking out today is the A101 A320 mini overhead panel. Right now it's listed on their website for $80. The version I just received is their older 3D printed model, and now it appears the latest version is made of an aluminum frame with an acrylic face, but just know an improved version is available. The first thing I want to mention is the really cool box art. They used this wraparound image of various Airbus panels. The only unusual flaw I notice is their imagery appears to be low resolution, as if they didn't have a 300 dpi image, or what it really reminds me of is when you have a design file and you lose the source image, it becomes unlinked, and that'll keep the image in your design, but it makes it super low resolution. So I wonder if something happened like that when this was transferred to the printer. But either way, I love the box design, but a high resolution image would take it to that next level. Opening the box, we have several disclaimer notes warning you that the switch position matters when installing the switch caps, and you have a QR code leading to instructions. Aside from that, you also receive the USB-C cable. The panel itself will measure 15 by 6.5 centimeters with 2.8 centimeters of depth, and looks to have that classic Airbus color too. Now the video instructions are not in English or captioned, but with the box insert warnings, the video message is still pretty clear. They do not want you to install those caps unless each switch is in that down position. Otherwise the board will be damaged, because installing these caps does take some pressure, and the switch will push down as you are doing it, so I can see how damage would occur. Once the caps are installed, they go on snug, but they don't fit snug. They can still easily move, and if this is bothersome, I suppose you could always add some adhesive to stick them in place. If you're expecting plug and play, that's not quite how these work starting off. The flight deck builders will be used to this. It's quite common for products like this to need a little extra help. But it's not very difficult. You'll just need a couple pieces of software that talk to each other in the sim. The first one being Mobile Flight Connector and good old FSU IPC7. They have a great set of instructions on their website to set all this up. Now understand, these panels need configuration files for each plane you want to fly. Right now, support is leaning on Microsoft Flight Simulator, and they have fully tuned profiles for planes like the Fly-by-Wire A320 and the Phoenix. At this time, they are looking for help from the community to produce more profiles for planes like the Tridentz A320, the INI A350, and the Fly-by-Wire A380. If your files pass their screening, they have prizes up for grabs. So I wouldn't say that it's not that they don't support X-Plane and P3D at all, it's just going to take efforts to build and test the configuration profiles. But it seems anyone with the time and the know-how can give it a shot. So now that we're all plugged in and configured, we'll be testing the panel with the Fly-by-Wire A320 within Microsoft Flight Simulator. Just going to go through and flick a few of the switches. You can see how the caps sort of move, and you can also hear the sounds. And of course, I want to talk about my favorite feature of these, which is the backlighting on these. You have this knob here that it's always lit up, but you can then turn it up and make it even brighter, and that is pretty cool. You can see how that laser engraving really works out well for these panels. But I like that. This is kind of the first set I've owned where it has backlighting to it, and I think that's such a cool feature to have. Overall, I really enjoyed trying out these panels, especially now. I guess the quality's improved. You have that much sturdier body, and it's made of acrylic, and I think they just keep taking feedback and building onto it. But super nice to have them. The switches seem sturdy. Having that backlighting was really cool, and just a single plug-in USB. It just takes some configuring, and then once you have that, it's good to go. I just think the only problem right now is its limitation with each plane, that it needs a profile for every plane to have it work. But if you can get those tuned, you have yourself a great overhead light panel.